last video, we saw how to use an inner join to return the data that is common between two tables. Now, sometimes you want to see all the data in one table with the extra column. So I want to see all the employees, for example, with the department ID, and in addition to that, the department name. And even if an employee doesn't have a department that they belong to, I still want to see that. So we can use a left outer join, or we call it a left join. So it's left outer or left, both will work. And so when you're running the query, you can use left join or left outer join. Just like the inner join, we can call inner join, or just say join without the word inner. We can also use the leave out the word outer here. And so what this does, it joins two tables. The first table is the table that I'm going to see all the data from. And in addition to all the data in table 1, I'm going to see additional columns from table 2. And if there isn't like a match, like for example, an employee doesn't have a department, what we do is we set null to that column. Let's see an example so it makes more sense. Here, I have a query where I want to see from the employee table their first name, their last name, and their salary. And from the department table, I want to see their department ID and the name of the department. So I'm joining the employee table with the department table. And I have a clause here that says, show me only the ones that have a salary of $50,000 or more. And so when I run it, I will see, my employee information, the department ID, and from the department table, I was able to match the department ID with the name. So this is the inner join. Now, if I was to replace the word inner with left, I'm doing a left join, meaning I want to see all employees, even employees that don't match on the equal between department ID. That means it is going to show me even the employees that have a department ID that doesn't match a department number, and employees that have a null. Okay, so they don't have a department, so they don't even exist on the department table, but it's going to also show me that. Let's look at another example. Here I have a query very close to the one that we wrote last time with the inner join, where I want to see from the customer table. So I want to go to the customer table and I want to see all the customers that have orders. So I am saying I want from the customer table, join me with the customer order and join on the customer ID column. So this table, this join, because it's an inner join, will only show me the customers that appear in both tables. If I have a customer that never placed an order, I will not see them. If I have, for example, a customer ID, a bad customer ID that doesn't exist in my customer table, I will not see that. I will only see the customers that appear in both tables because it's an inner join. If I turn that word inner to a word left, now I will be seeing all my customers. It will show me all the customers, including customers that never placed an order. Let's run that and see. So here, last time we ran a query that looks very similar. What I just did right now was I modified it to include the order date. And so when I run this query, which is an inner join, I see all my customers that placed orders. And I see that there are customers that are not there. Customer ID 1 is not there. Customer ID 4 is not there. And we kind of determined that 4 was a customer, but they didn't have any orders last time. And so what I did was I copied this query exactly as is, but I did a small thing. I changed the order of the table. So I said I want to see the customer table first, and I'm doing a left join with the customer order table. And now I changed it to a left join instead of an inner join. So now I am requesting to see all the customers, and I want to see, for example, the order ID. So I want to see when they placed an order. And so when I run it, I see all my customers, including the order date when they placed an order. And if there is a customer that placed more than one order, they have 2 lines in there. But in addition to that, I also get some customers that didn't place anything. So remember we said customer ID 1 and 4 were missing in the inner join. They are missing because they didn't have any orders. And so I get them with a null on the order date. Okay, so the left join, the only difference between inner and left is that inner only gives you the intersection. Left will give you everything in the first table. And if there isn't any match, it'll put a null in the column that you are doing the joining on. Now, a right is almost identical, except it's going to do the same with the second table. So here, if I want to kind of get the same result, those 52 rows with a right join, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it here. And let's just change it to be right. And so I want the customer table to be the right one. So here I'll make the left one order, customer order. I'm going to make the right one, the second one, the customer table. And because it's the second one, I'm going to change the word left to right. So now this is my left table. This is my right table, my table two. My table two, my second table is the right table. And this will give me the exact same result as my left with the tables backwards. So it still give me those 52. So right and left are exactly the same, except which table is it that you want to show the results for. So a left will show you everything on table one. A right join will show you everything in table two. And so here, let's see an example where the left and right might give us different results. Here, what I'm saying is I want to see from the employee table, I'm doing a left join. So that means I want to see all employees, including the ones that don't have a department. So this will give me all employees, including the ones that don't have a department. Here, what I did was I just switched the tables around and I made it a right join. A right join says, look at table two. So again, this is going to give me the employee table with all employees, including the ones that don't have a department. So these two are identical. They will be done, they will give you the same results. The last two types of joins that we want to do are the join, the full outer join, and the cross join. So the full outer join, what it does, it's kind of like a left and right. It's going to show you all the rows from all the tables. So you're going to see table one, all the rows in table one, all the rows in table two. And if there's any column that it cannot get a value for, it'll just set null. So this is called a full outer join or a full join. Okay. And so if I, kind of review what we did here, the first one here was, those two were exactly the same. If I say a full join between them, I will get all employees and all departments, and I will see departments that don't have employees, and I will see employees that don't have departments. Okay, so if I come here, I will see that I have some employees that don't have departments, and I will also see that I have some departments, a department here that doesn't have an employee. So this full outer join will give me all the ones. Sorry, these two are not the same. One is, they're both the employee department. I mixed it up. So let's look at this one. So let's go back. This one shows me all the employees, including the ones that don't have a department. So here I see all employees, including ones that don't have a department. This one, because it's a right join, it'll show me all departments, including ones that don't have employees. And so I see all the departments, including one department that doesn't have employees. And then the full outer join will show me all departments with no employees, and then all employees, even the ones without a department. So this is the most inclusive, and that's why we get those 201 records. So full outer join just shows you everything from the two tables that you have selected. And a cross join usually is limited in how you can use it. A cross join, you want to select some columns from a certain table, cross joining them from another table. And what this does, it's going to take every row in column in the first table and match it with all the rows in table two. So if you have employees, for example, it's going to take that employee and put them in all departments. So let's look at an example. So if I select, if I say, show me all the employees, select all the first names from employee, I'll get 200 employees. If I say, show me all the department names from department, I will get that I have 9 departments. If I say select first name and department name from employee and department, which is doing a cross join, I'm going to get 1800. So basically it's going to take every employee with every department and match. You can just say from and then, you know, the two columns, or you can say from like employee cross join department. So this is another way that you can do it. But again, this is kind of like if you want, you know, you have two tables and you want to like match every row with every row from table 1 with every single row in table 2, which doesn't really make sense here with employees and departments. But that's what a cross join does. So this slide has a summary of all the joins that we've talked about. We've talked about the inner join, which gives you the intersection. We talked about the left join, which gives you information from the first table. The right join gives you the information from the second table. And then the outer join, which gives you both tables. Now, if you do want, like, for example, here, we really didn't talk about this, but if you want only things from table 2, you know, items from table 2 that don't have intersection, you can say where value is null, for example, and that'll filter it out for you. So for the classwork for this chapter, for this part of the class, you're going to find a Word document on Blackboard. Again, you are expected to be using sampledata.sql. And again, you're going to read what it asks you and write the query that it wants you to write and submit a screenshot of that SQL. And with this, we have finished part 5 of the course. So don't forget to do the homework on Blackboard.